refuge, through merit from giving and the rest. To aid all, may I become Buddha. May all sentient beings have happiness and its causes. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and its causes. May all sentient beings never be parted from sorrowless bliss. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from bias, attachment, and hatred. To the founder, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, glorious conqueror, the subduer of the Shaka clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. To the founder, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer of the Shaka clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. To the founder, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer of the Shaka clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. When, O supreme among humans, you were born on this earth, you paced out 7 strides and said, I am supreme in this world. To you who were wise, then I prostrate. With pure bodies formed supremely pure, wisdom ocean like a golden mountain, fame their places in the 3 worlds, winner of the best Lord, to you I prostrate. With a supreme sign, face like spotless moon, color like you I prostrate. Dust free like you, the 3 worlds are not. Incomparably wise one, to you I prostrate. The Savior having great compassion, the founder having all understanding, the field of merit with qualities like a vast ocean, to you the one gone to thusness I prostrate. The purity that frees one from attachment, the virtue that frees one from the lower realms, the one path, the sublime pure reality, to the Dharma that pacifies I prostrate. Those who are liberated and who also show the path to liberation, the holy field qualified with realizations, who are devoted to the moral precepts, to you, the sublime community intending virtue, I prostrate. Homage to the Supreme Buddha, homage to the Dharma refuge, homage to the great Sangha, to all 3 ever devout homage. To all worthy of respect, bowing with bodies as many as all realms, atoms, in all aspects, with supreme faith I pay homage. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions, virtuous actions. Subdue your mind thoroughly. This is the teaching of the Buddha. A star, a mirage, the flame of a lamp, an illusion, a drop of dew or a bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning, a cloud. See conditioned things as such. Through these merits may sentient beings attain the rank of all seeing, subdue the foe of all, and be delivered from samsara's ocean, perturbed by the waves of aging, sickness, and death. From Tushita's hundreds of gods, protectors far, to tip of this fresh, pure white heaped curd like cloud, O love Sangrapa, Dharma's omniscient king, pray come to this place with your disciples. In space ahead, on lion throne, lotus and moon, venerable Guru, smile brightly with delight. Pray stay hundreds of eons to spread doctrine as supreme merit. Heal for my mind of faith. Your wisdom lines these full range of knowables. Your eloquent speech adorns fortunate ears. Your beauteous body, famed glory outstanding. Homage to you, worthwhile to think of, hear, and see. pleasant offerings of water, various flowers, fragrant incense, light perfume, and so on. Oceans of offerings set out and in vision offered up to you, supreme field of merit, non-virtue committed with body, speech, and mind, which I have heaped up since beginning last time, especially what has contradicted three vows. Each I confess from my heart with strong regret. In time of strife, love to learn and practice, shun mundane concerns, make life essence full. O protector from depths of our hearts, we rejoice in your powerful great deeds. Venerable gurus from love and wisdom, clasped densely massed in your Dharmakaya sky, pray loose a rain of past profound Dharma on fields of disciples just as needed. May whatever virtue that I've here gathered bring benefit to all beings and doctrine, and may it make venerable of Sanghapas essential teaching specially shine forever. Mig me se wei ter chen chen rei sig dri me kien pei wan po yang pe yang tu pung ma lu jon se song wei da gang chen ke pei su kin song ka pa lao sang dra pe sha bo so wa de. O glorious and precious root guru, pray take seat of lotus on my crown, caring for me with your great kindness. Bestow attainments of body, speech, and mind. O glorious and precious root guru, pray take seat of lotus at my heart, caring for me with your great kindness. Bestow attainments common and supreme. O glorious and precious root guru, pray take seat of lotus at my heart, caring for me with your great kindness, until supreme awakening remains steadfast. Homage to the exalted three jewels. Thus have I heard at one time, the Blessed One was dwelling in Rajagriha on Balsha Mountain, together with a great assembly of monks and a great assembly of bodhisattvas. At that time, the Blessed One was absorbed in the concentration of the countless aspects of phenomenon called profound illumination. At that very time, the superior light, Vishara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, was looking perfectly at the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom, perfectly looking at the emptiness and inherent existence of the five aggregates also. Then, through the power of the Buddha, the Venerable Shariputra said to Superior Lord Vishara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, how should a child of the lineage train who wishes to engage in the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom? Thus he spoke, and the Superior Lord Vishara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, replied to the Venerable Shariputra as follows. Shariputra, whichever son or daughter of the lineages wish to engage in the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom should look perfectly like this. Subsequently, looking perfectly and correctly at the emptiness of inherent existence of the five aggregates also. Form is empty, emptiness is form, emptiness is not other than form, form is not other than. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, compositional factors, and consciousness are empty. Shariputra, like this, all phenomena are empty, without characteristics. That is, they are not produced and do not cease. They have no defilement and no separation from defilement. They have no decrease and no increase. Therefore, Shariputra, in emptiness there is no form, no feeling, no composition of factors, no consciousness. There is no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visible form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no object of touch, no mental phenomenon. There is no I element and so forth up to no mind element, up to no element of mental consciousness. There is no ignorance and no cessation of ignorance, and so forth up to no aging and death, and no cessation of aging and death. Likewise, there is no suffering, no origin, no cessation, and no path, no exalted wisdom, no attainment, and also no non-attainment. Therefore, Shariputra, because there is no attainment, bodhisattvas rely on and abide in the perfection of wisdom, and because their minds have no obstructions, they have no fear. Passing utterly beyond error, they attain the final state beyond sorrow. All the Buddhas who reside in the three times, by relying upon the perfection of wisdom, become manifest and complete Buddhas in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, and complete enlightenment. Therefore, the mantra of the perfection of wisdom, the mantra of great knowledge, the unsurpassed mantra, equal to the unequal mantra, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering, since it is not, all should be known as the truth. The mantra of the perfection of wisdom is proclaimed. Hayata Om Gati Parasam Gati Bodhisoha. Shariputra, this is how a bodhisattva being should train in the profound perfection of wisdom. Then the Blessed One arose from that concentration. Kushara, the Bodhisattva, the great being. Well said, O child, the lineage, so it is. It should be practiced exactly as you have taught, and that the goddess will rejoice. When the Blessed One had said this, the Venerable Shariputra, the spirit of Kushara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, and the entire assembly of worldly gods, humans, demigods, Gandharvas, and others, were filled with admiration and highly praised. In the holy supreme abode, the Dakinis, possessed of clairvoyance and miraculous power, unwaveringly caring for practitioners as your children, homage to the host of three places, Dakinis. Jaya Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhisoha. Through the power of these all good speech on the side of negativity, such the poor Mars be stopped. May they become non-existent, may they be pacified. All enemies, obstructors, and hindrances, Shanti Kuriye Soha. The 80,000 types of pleasure to pacify, free from adverse harmful conditions. May all be conducive to perfect auspiciousness. Sashi Poki Chukshi Mejo Tramri Herabringshi Jogi Chara Jamshubaru Yagi Yapsuchi Ragi Shunin Kipe Sonamgi Droga Benches Sangye Yoga Sho Chodak Soke Shonamla Jamshubaru Yagi Yapsuchi Ragi Shunin Kipe Sonamgi Droga Benches Sangye Yoga Sho Chodak Soke Shonamla Jamshubaru Yagi Yapsuchi Ragi Shunin Kipe Sonamgi Droga Benches Sangye Yoga Sho
Good evening, everyone. How are you? Good? That's good. How's the snow, you guys? Hard to driving? You take tea?
That's not working either.
Yeah, they also the stop one day, the red line stop. Yeah. But anyway, I think we have more snow. When I come back from India, the Tibetans walking here. Oh, this year we don't have snow. It's very cold. Yeah. We said, we don't get any snow. Even Orthodox, oh, it's good, we don't get snow. Then like you can, then more snow, still more snow coming. Wow. Wow, it's good. Big challenge, everyone. Used to in Tibetan, I think here with people make very big deal. In Tibetan, my day always like this. They think no emergency, just snow. They say, oh, tomorrow. Even no one talk about that. Just tomorrow maybe big snow. Just that's it. But this is I think good for environment. Why? What's the environment? Global warming. I think maybe global is not warming. Every year we get more and more snow. Then the big challenge. Some very good, some very bad. But also a lot of businesses are good. They're good business. The people sell the salt, snow shovel guys. Then, what call skiing, good for them. Good for the birds and the wild animals, deers. Otherwise, for human beings, we have big heat. No problem. Anyway, when you going, please everyone, careful to drive, not too fast, not too slow. But the highways maybe just complete killing, right? Yeah, this morning I went to the post office. Very hard to go there. When I driving, I couldn't get out, because people put driving. We cannot always around. And I just back up. Anyway, it's wonderful. Everyone set up perfect motivation to benefit for all of sentient beings. Shiva Landapan. Therefore, I'm going to study. I'm going to listen to teaching. I always mention the Tibetan Buddhism practice is very depend on your mind. We Tibetan call the name Chiwa Nangwa, with a Nang means inside. With the Tibetan Buddhism practice inside, not outside. Not just different clothes, different action, different things. Therefore, when we say Mahayana and Hinayana, it depends on their motivation. Because our all activities depend for our motivation, right? Motivation, then the activities. Therefore, we say Mahayana, Hinayana, also, only difference to the motivation. Then you have different kind of motivation, then also you achieve or you gain different kind knowledge. Therefore, mind is very important. Therefore, always, even we do actions to all the time do for our activities, but try to thinking the motivation to benefit for other beings, for working for others. If you really think or transfer our mind, think for the more others, then we have less problem. Because we all need less problem, right? I think Mori needs a little more problem. How's your?
I'll give you some of mine.
how's it?
I only do big problems.
How's your animals?
They're fine.
Fine. The one Kadama master, we always pray we reboot for for higher realms. Then one Kadama master, he also dedicated he wanted to born to some low place for some human being. He can do more benefit for others. Then before he died, he told the students, now I have very bad signs. I wish to born again to some Sara land. But now that my visions looks good I'm born to the, poor land. Then, he doesn't want to born, he wanted more benefit for others. Therefore, maybe Maureen, she wanted more benefit for others, more, we taking, giving, giving practice, right? Did I say correct?
Yes.
We have a lot of school teachers that I have to care for. Therefore, this is all, we're not taking exactly for others' problems, but develop for our motivation, our mind, for make more power, When we, bid in, we think about for all symptoms, all the problems too. You take it inside. You blow out. Is it blow out? I say.
Yeah.
Then you give all your, happiness for your, what we call, whatever you have good things, you're giving all symptoms. Doing like that this is also the one method to achieve a bodhicitta. And therefore, usually we don't take really some other problems. If you really take, Buddha say, I cannot wash your negative things. I cannot take your problems. Therefore, this contradiction, right? Therefore, this is just, you really develop your mind. When even say, what's bodhicitta? What's compassion? What's compassion? If your compassion means it's same as the one mother has only one child. Usually, the family has one child is very precious for them. My family has 10 children. they don't care much. You know, it's too much, you know. You know, just the one child they're very precious for. The mother, I don't know, I think the father has also same feeling the child, right? I think mother has more. There was the one child's mother has a heart compassion for her child. If you have looked like that, all sentient beings, you're looking like one mother, she looking for her child. If you have that kind of mind, you know, you develop all sentient beings. This is, you know, compassion. Right? Therefore, great compassion. It's great compassion. If you have like that, then if kids, I think maybe kids become teenagers, maybe mothers have also a little bit less compassion, right? He say, yeah, my kid, yeah, for he don't listen, she don't listen a little bit less. I think especially maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 years, 6, 7, they're very strong. Therefore, during that time, you have not much to angry your child, jealous, hatred, right? Because you have very, very strong compassion. Therefore, if we have like that kind of compassion we're looking for all sentient beings, then we get benefit. We don't get angry. We don't get jealous. We don't, you know, we don't feel for them, right? Then who get benefit? No benefit not for them, be benefit for us, right? Understand? Are you just guess or really understand? Just okay. I think that's it. Otherwise, switch on my book in English. But today, just not here. I don't get homework. Good things. Today, the Karatana Ganzo, some agenda, some no, around the research.
So there's a saying that if we think for others, our own purposes will be accomplished.
That thing when the rain do them some low down.
So is that just saying, or is it really, true? We have to check about that. By thinking about others, how can that benefit myself? So, and also it is obvious that if you don't think about other sentient beings, then there's no way you can yourself. So, because if you don't think about others, then you will not be able to generate bodhicitta. If you don't generate bodhicitta, you will not be able to achieve enlightenment. And also, Lama Tsongkhapa said in his Three Principal Aspects of the Path, the renunciation that is not conjoined with the bodhicitta will not become a cause to achieve enlightenment. A full enlightenment. In this case, we're talking about Buddhahood. And when we say enlightenment, we're talking about Buddhahood. And so, so just generating renunciation, you'll not be able to achieve enlightenment. So that renunciation which you have generated has to be conjoined with bodhicitta for that to become a cause for enlightenment. And so if you are able to achieve, generate that mind or thought wanting to benefit others, then you will accomplish your own purpose of achieving the state of full enlightenment. So we can think about that by using the reasonings and logics. Like I said, if you have compassion for somebody, then you will not have hatred toward that person, right? And so, for in our case, like, we are normal, ordinary individuals, will not be able to generate two kinds of mind at the same time. So we'll not be able to manifest two kinds of mind at the same time, and especially those two minds when they are contradicting with each other, right? So compassion and hatred, they're contradicting mind, and those kind of two contradicting mind cannot be generated at the same time on a single ordinary person's mind, on ordinary person's consciousness. Is that true? Does that make sense? So you cannot have, or you cannot generate an attractiveness and the ugliness of the object, of the same object at the same time, right? And so, so here we're talking about object, right? Talking about one object, but seeing in a different ways. So one sees in a good way, one sees in a bad way. So, but focusing on one object with the two different views. And the wisdom realizing emptiness destroys the mind that grasps at true existence. So the wisdom realizing emptiness and the mind, ignorance, grasping at this, at the self or at the existence at the true existence of the object. So these two different minds, they are focusing on the same object, but in a different way, in a very contradicting way. So one sees that very object as existing from its one side, and whereas the other one sees the object being empty of existing from its one side. And so you can see from that, not just wishing or praying, for something to happen, but just by thinking like that, you can see that they can bring some changes like that.
Right? And tell me be control
and so just like that, if you can generate compassion towards a sentient being, then you will not have hatred, jealousy, and so forth, that kind of negative thoughts towards that sentient being.
What that
so who benefited that? Oneself, right? So how did that benefit oneself? That eradicated the suffering that may have arisen from getting angry.
Right?
And otherwise, other sentient being even doesn't realize that we have compassion towards them.
Right?
So, for example, like the birds outside, we have compassion towards them. We feel pity towards them, in a bad situation like this. We feel pity, but do they understand that? No, they don't. They don't know that, right? So, but if it is a dog or a cat, then if you try to pet them, and then they realize that you're being nice to them, right? And so this is how you can think and establish, by following the reasonings and the logics.
Okay, that's right. Are you sure? I'm not sure. Yes.
It seems the The way I understand what you're saying is the way to get rid of that anger is to develop bodhicitta compassion towards everyone. But is anger the result of attachment not being fulfilled? And because attachment's not fulfilled, you get angry. So if you get rid of attachment, that's how you get rid of anger, not how you get rid of, not by generating bodhicitta. Or is it both?
다들 저런 게 송다지나 자가서 콘도 매봐서 알아 닝지기 올스 그래서 거기서나 다 닝제 다 콘도 사기 준선데 가르스나 먼저 착발라 때네 난 착발이 되는데 말도 되네 자 먼저 차지 말 지금 다나 삼그라 말하는 데는 아무런 바라저 제로 지나서 뭐 선배처럼 걸 착발겠네 뒤 맞아버는 데 콘도 사고라서 대제도 담보 착발이 말 매워져는 콘도 말참좀더 말해서 대 가서 다 닝제된 말이지 그 작업방에 맞죠 닝제기는 말이지
이나라에
되네 말해서 대 괜히 잘했어
그 접해온 거 이거서 가지 접해온 게 아니 너무 안 들어 나라 접해온 게 자와도 고투도로 투사 되지 안들어도 공론도다 강 연구로 정라에 돼 접해온 거 접아 매워서 라 간지 알에 파줘 예동아 동아지 가지 예 드라마도 별로 신년도 별로 제고요 와서 그래서 잡히 매와 잡히 녀라야 이제는 저만 잡아 매워서 또 말아왔어
이제 말게는 처음에서
나 다시 매도로 저러라 다 잡아도 또 들어와 그래서 또 그래 포대 되는 거 간지 잡아디 하나 잡아디 왕기 간게 딱 내저세는 그러고 찍으러 왔어 근데 잡아 따오로 봐지 저는 그랬어.
Yes, so in this case, you're right, when we talk about the attachment as that. Because of the attachment, to oneself, and then one's loved ones, one's wishes and so forth. So because of attachment to those things, then when you don't get those fulfilled, for those things, then you get angry. So again, this is also related with the compassion. So that compassion, when you don't have that compassion, then you will not be able to, overcome that kind of attachment.
Okay, like that you are very good thinking. 나도 갈래다다 나도 가지는 코너서 소소 라라 잡아티 왕기 다 라라 랑가 시에든 얘기만도 라라 그 책임도 우선만도 코너서 내용도 봤어.
And so because of attachment to oneself, then you become angry when the things don't happen the way you want it for yourself.
다 수수지라 봐줘 니지하고 쟤는 수수지지 소소를 잡아 말 대서 총총으로 그랬어. 가르르스나 배나 아메기 소소도 부근이 쟤나 부글라 야야 담고도 와서 소소를 잡아 여여서이나 대답 배나 부근이나 부글라 즉 야야 담고요 와서. 그래서 간제 소소를 단다 소소 보고 단도 신을 잡아내야 되게로 잡아 쉽지 않은 용도 니제도 세고 남도 다시 보고대 제와시고 좀 아마데젤라
되건데스
배나 배차잖아 배나 아마데젤라 소소를 잡아다 볼을 잡아니 시체나 아니다 갖다 볼을 제와서 그만다 다 아마데젤도 단니가 시다 잡아도 그러고 배나 아메젤라 소소를 제와나 볼을 제와니나 볼을 제와 치그랬어 되나 소소 맞대서 개총 보고 제 치아로서 뭐
So, for example, like when we compare with the compassion, the mother has towards herself or towards her child, then I think it's more towards her child. Right? So she will prefer her child to be happier than herself, or prefer herself to be suffering, to be sick, and so forth than the child. And so, so how much compassion she has towards her child, that much less hatred she will have towards her child.
Okay, like that can, you think about one by one, it then really makes sense. Therefore, then inza tanda tambungala na kan kono de kishi moshara res ro kono sangala de ngado leka yang yang ro was tanda ani ngado tewa chi ju sen so kono la de yang ro
so anyway, so most important thing is the motivation, thought, right? So all the practice that we do, whether it becomes a cause to achieve enlightenment, or a full enlightenment, or just the liberation for oneself, depends on one's thought or motivation.
tendeida 가르스나 아니 니랑다 가지고 대화만 봐서 그러는 거죠. 대화 중에서 그러와. tendu 가르스나 아니 소소 주보 타와토 나섬 선대가다. 아니 소소 주보 타와토 돈도 로드 마토 semjegi cheda 타원 로드 마치면서 상제에서 도구요 말 상제 개원량요 말해서.
So the lower vehicles, like the heroes and social riders, they mainly think about themselves, to achieve liberation. And so because they're thinking for themselves, therefore, mainly, of course, they do think for others, but they mainly think about themselves, therefore they are not able to achieve enlightenment.
근데 이자 아니 다 상제 좀 되게 그냥 담보 다 담보도 수강하러 와. 소도 야부쇼나 상무장자로 왔어. 미간가 주케 랭가 말 수도 세나.
So mostly, we always think about ourselves. All of us ordinary people, we mostly think about ourselves more first, right? Whether we believe in a religion or not, we always think that, if I can be happy, that's all I want.
Right. 근데 이제 따와도 때는 산지 좀 되게 담보 대화 좀 주소만 말해. 아니 담보 아니 데마실라 감베 다 니도 되니 주대 소마로 왔어.
So that's how we sentient beings are, right? To be honest, that's how we are. So then that's why Buddha taught the Dharma according to that. He didn't give Mahayana teaching right away, but he gave Hinayana teaching first. And so that's why he taught. He taught the Four Noble Truths at the beginning, when he first turned the wheel of Dharma.
아니 중고 question.
I've never been able to understand why anyone would just practice for oneself, especially because you can't achieve enlightenment, you can't have all of this positive regard for others, and it also benefits yourself to practice the Mahayana path. So I don't see why anyone would practice the Hinayana path. And I'm not disparaging it. I don't understand it.
태보 침볼라다 펜도 침보 쇼저레스 미신발라 셴나 펜도 침보 쇼저레스 태보 침보 처음 맞아버지 대면 최대 가르친 지는 뭐 하고 도움도 소리.
What I can give some benefit 가지고. 만두 소소 내가 지당 배자고도.
네.
가자고도.
샘슈 침보예요.
근데 미카시 간도 미카시 있는 샘지 미셔말 로바죠. 샘주 침보에 왔지. 미카시 내가 매워요 와서. 배 되는 거 와서. 샘주 제휴로 왔지. 가시가 다 소소 또 그러는 데도 배시마 말해서 샘주요. 바지겠다. 소소도 걔가 말했어. 제발 로바야 보셔나. 아니 이 나로도 대판 르는 오래서 만도 남지 미치만 한테 이거로 봐서. 너도날.
So mostly in ordinary people like ourselves, we always think about oneself, right? If I can find a food to eat, that'll be good. It doesn't matter whether others will able to find or not. That's the thought. As ordinary being, normal, naturally we have that kind of thought. And of course, to practice Mahayana is really good. It's really good. It has a great benefit, but you need you need a great courage to do that, right? So it's saying that doing for all these sentient beings and doing for myself is a big difference. So you need a billion times more courage than just practice for oneself. So not everybody has that courage. Right. You understand?
But it's not easy, yeah.
Maybe another example, Geshe, would be if we're in a building that's on fire and we have nothing but strangers in the building with us, who do we think about saving first?
가가로 매 컴바치나 멤버나.
네. 다들 미 소송과 마시 미샤다 바샤라. 데데 매 바르데나 데데 수저베 som당을 som당모. 소소저베 som당하기 미신다 저베 som당을.
That's good sambo. Right? 소소지라고? 소소 점이라 점지로. 아니 신이 소소 바타니 직체나 답체로 왔어. 답에 대로.
뭐라도 던지 보라.
로 뭐라당하지. 소소도 마다 다위신이신데 노게로.
So yeah, that's a good example.
example.
And you'll think about oneself, right? We'll think about oneself. I want to rescue myself first, like that. And not only that, even like when you're driving, it says, I want to get first, I want to get first, we don't wait for other people to pass by. We say, I want to go first, so we just try to go first, Like, that's natural, for us, so that's why we, tend to do that. So Hinayana has that benefit of thinking for oneself mainly. And we're able to do that, so that's why we do that.
Yeah, for the
I don't want to knock the whole concept of bodhicitta on its head, but it does seem that when we're trying to practice Mahayana and go through the paths of bodhicitta, that we are being selfish. That we are doing it so that we can reach enlightenment. And oh, by the way, we have compassion and love for people along the way.
But shouldn't that be flipped? I
Go ahead.
I want to help all sentient beings achieve enlightenment. The only way to do that is for me to achieve enlightenment.
So I'll do it on the way, because I'm not going to get it unless I'm nice to other people.
But you have to get your mind to get into that flip state.
Yeah,
but that's the practice to get your mind.
that's
there.
the ultimate. But the ultimate is to maybe do that. But
Yes.
on the way,
On the way.
I'm going to use you.
Why is he
Well,
selfish?
why?
This is how he is this. Why is he selfish?
Why is it? Yeah,
Why is it
because I guess that's,
Yeah.
because the Dalai Lama does call it selfish, but wise, yeah.
Enlightenment's not the goal, though.
Helping others.
The goal is to benefit others.
But we can't do that until we reach enlightenment.
But
So
that's just
while
something
we're
along the
trying
way,
to
though.
do that,
Yeah.
we're going to,
You're reading.
we're going to help others so that we can get there, yeah.
No, the enlightenment.
No, that's like he said in his split. We want to get there so that we can help others.
Yeah.
Not because I will help them so that I can get it. It's not that. I want to get there so I can help them.
Right.
So the only reason to go there, to reach there, is to help them.
Right, and,
Just like said, only way you can help them is by reaching there.
Right.
So the reason to, that's why you want to reach there. And one reason to reach there is to help them.
right.
Right, so,
So
but,
if you say, I want to reach there, but on the way I'm going to help them, then you will never reach there.
yeah, well, and that's the only way I can reach it, is to help.
Yeah, but if you have that thought, then you'll never reach there,
But also, if you take,
You'll never reach there.
if you take like the bodhisattva vows, then you're saying, I'm going, keep coming back until everyone is liberated, all sentient beings. That's not selfish at all. In
Yeah.
fact, it's like yeah,
Enlightenment, the work just begins.
yeah, that's just, yeah.
good.
I see your point, yeah.
Are you clean now?
Huh?
Good. Well, good.
So he says, are you clear now?
Are you clear now? A little bit?
Yeah, I guess.
I can't. Oh, guys, you have to move. You guys to move through. Okay, Deborah.
Your perspective on this. I was at a talk or workshop, and this question was asked of a Theravada teacher, great, I think she's from Sri Lanka. He said, why would you not want to reach full enlightenment? He goes, it's impossible. You can never save all sentient beings. It's totally impossible. So that's not a realistic goal. So his take on it was really not being selfish, it was just that it just wasn't realistic.
Okay, there you go.
더 여말, 상계야 여말. 심지어 탐지되는 상계에서 심지어 탐지되는 되는 저 도가를 여말했어.
Perfection of patience.
Yeah, this is exactly Deborah said. They explain like that. You know.
So it's
네, explanation. 우리가 explanation.
You know.
But
You
there's
know.
all kinds of ways to, I mean, you keep thinking about it along the
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
But then we say,
심수 체조 여말
oh, yeah, we have more courage, I say.
courage.
Courage, yeah. Therefore, I say, yeah, I think like that. Yeah, anyway, this is good. You guys have more, discussion. 근데 다 단단하게도 아마도 semje 탐추 땅에 단단하라 semje도 좀 이게 semje도 좀 가르나 semje 펜토급인데 가르나 semje가 아 나시 대원도 좀 동감도 칭송을 해서 지들 때 거다. 근데 이제 다 ngara devan deva chi devan du dungam da da konso chi bari nang ge konso ropa chi da che to mu da ana gadi che to ri nga sa je nang ge che to re tere da di che da nga sa je wa che ye sam ko ka sem ka shi do.
So first you have to think about why you should benefit sentient beings, right? Why you should benefit sentient beings, why should you not cause harm to others, So just like yourself, they don't want to, go through any sufferings. Just like yourself, they want to have happiness. So because of that, right, that has to be the reason. And of course, and because they have been very kind to you, and then now it's your turn to repay their kindness. And then only way to do that is to bring them to the state of full enlightenment. And only way to bring them there is for yourself to become enlightened first. So that has to be the reason for you to achieve enlightenment.
Okay, now you come. Yeah, she's good. Okay, it's good. Yeah.
The Hinayana schools and the Mahayana schools have a different view of ultimate truth, of emptiness. It varies. There's a different motivation because there's a different view on what emptiness ultimately means. Isn't that correct? So, I mean, it would...
다 가서 대명기 따와는 대신에 따와니라 개발을 요 말을 했어.
안테 따 빼면서 채워라. 대매가 아니 돈이 세 캔을 거 말들어.
대매 더 담아.
전다 강갈래 말이야. 전다 뭐데 돈이 캔을 거 말이야. So
when you just say Hinayana and Mahayana, then there's no difference. So according to Prasanga Madhyamika view, Hinayana, Mahayana, view-wise same. They both have to realize emptiness in order to be free from cycle existence. But if you say proponent of the Mahayana school and proponent of the Mahayana tenet or proponent of the Hinayana tenet, then proponent of the Hinayana tenet has a very different view. They don't accept emptiness. They only accept selflessness. And even the selfless, they only accept selflessness of person, no selflessness of phenomena.
Yeah. Well, they believe in a permanent mind as well. I mean, don't they irreducible mind, just like the irreducible particle.
완전 낭배 두도 말이야 말아. 그래서 딱박해는 나 딱박해는 게 말아. 나중에 아주 동거들 다 마셔들어. 그래.
딱해는 말.
So in Buddhist,
된다 지겨 된다.
the proponent of Buddhist tenets.
아까로 라제테비 다 지겨라 그래. 또마다 가도 말아지도 돼 있다. 딱해는 시어. 따바나마 따바 강이 많이 말아지도 돼 있다. 대셔라면 같은데 근데 기능이 지겨 자상 말아.
아니 그 딱박해는 게 말아.
딱박해는 말.
So yeah, so the lowest view in the Buddhist tenet, is the tenet of the Vaibhashika school, right? So even the Vaibhashika school, and when they explain about the emptiness or selflessness, they do the empty of being permanence, and the self, single, and independence. So those are independence. So independence in this case would be, not depending on cause and condition like that. So that kind of, dependence. So even that, doesn't accept that self or anything is prominent. So when Buddha taught, the Four Noble Truths, then there's the first, the true suffering, and then there's attributes, like the four attributes of the true suffering. That's everything. All the component phenomena are impermanent. All the contaminated are suffering, and all the phenomena are phenomena are empty and selflessness. And then the parinirvana, is the peace. So there's those four seals that was taught at the beginning, and that even there you can see that nothing is accepted or exerted as permanent.
Okay. Okay, now I think we go to this text. Right? Those Modi look at me. No, I'm joking. She's my object of the joke. It's good.
From the time we met each other 10 years ago.
You know. Anyway. Okay. Now we go to 81, okay? And Tono Cheshi, Tamba Darrenton, the Cho Chevi, Jonathan Delen, Puja Tobingola, Jim the Shimina Marayas, Chilo the Ravas.
And so in the verse 81, it reads, I exalt myself above the high and low and consider holy people my enemies. Because my lust is great, I energetically pursue young people. Roar and thunder on the head of the destroyer, false construction, mortally strike at the heart of the butcher, the enemy evil.
Tela Marva, Judge Tambajiwa, Judge Tamba de Lenges of Ticola Samaya Taro Natro, Mazongan in the Kala de Redum Dudum, Judge Tamba.
So on the verse 80, the verse before this, the verse 80, please some focus on that and think whether that's really true or not. Or are we like that or not?
Okay? Not think about, oh, maybe she's like that. Or maybe he's like that. Not looking that, okay? Did I am like this person? No, putu mawayo. And then kalo matengi. And then kadina pocho. She gets a namja thing pocho, and they didn't do. Then there is not that much on girls.
So we should think, whether we are like that or not. Am I like that or not? Am I someone who do not appreciate advice from others, and someone who is difficult to be with, and someone who gets offended very easily? Am I like that or not? That's what we should think. And it's saying that these things are bad, and so we should not be like this.
Okay? That in the love of joy. This thing
So these are very, very essential advice, very, very important to our mind.
Okay? 다 이제 자기들 간다. 강산 가시게 돼. 전다 추든지 샤와함. 아니 샘지 전지 있던데 샤와직 따뜻함이 돼서. 아니 대란 저도다. 도민지 선배 끝나네 되니 견저 봐마법다 뭐요래서. 다때 가서 되는 뭐 용도 와서. 매치까지 샘지 전지 달라. 자고 그들라. 소수 추든지 샤와 친구인 거 좀 사발아야. 안 되는 직소도 막가니. 내가 견주지 어떻게 지금도 와서 로아 돈을 제가 담아다는 던스 아니 제가 담아라서 가서 저와 좀 가시도 내가 기반에 봐 맞아 아니 야 내가 단선도 봐 어떤 내용도 와서 아니 가전 딴 내저 다 대상들이요 말 와서 단을 lumba까지 들어봐나 아니 메까지 직계매 지금 와서 니 숨쉬다 답하지 않는데 뭐 와서 맞아 대체도 소양 당지 근데 용도 어떤 소용 저 잡았대.
So it's pretty clear, right? It's like I exalt myself above the high and low, and consider holy enemies. So we always, tend to strive, to be higher than others. When someone says somebody's higher, or somebody's doing very good, then we always, object to that, and try to prove that they are not as high as oneself. And so forth, right? And then it says, consider the holy people and my enemies. And so the holy people, people who are respected by others, seen as enemy, because then you don't get that kind of respect, because they're respecting, they're going towards them, and they don't come to you, so you consider them as your enemies, like that. And it says, because of my lust, because like my lust is great, so here's attachment, right? So especially like sexual attachment. So it says, I energetically pursue young people. And so we always see the others, others who are younger than one's partner as more more attractive, and then always pursue for that. So that's why there come all these problems of not being able to live together and so forth, right? And here there's no law. It's law against the law, but in many countries you can have many wives, and they always go for younger ones, and they end up having many wives like that. So these are anyway because of great attachments.
Okay, Sean.
So when I think about this, I think very sad. A mind like that cannot rejoice in the merit of others.
아니 신다기 신다기 겨와 저걸 제소란 전 세트 말았어.
그거 대체건 차독이.
Yeah, that's right. Because of very strong jealousy, we will not be able to appreciate or rejoice in others' virtues.
안땡도 섭섭하지는 거 간도치 수수고 된데만 차독이 온 거지 파주 원래가 있는데 건도 식 말에 건도 지금부터 사야 되죠. 건도 하고 지금부터 사야 돼. 간지 소소하게 차독이 온 거. 대체도 왔어. 근데 차독을나 파주비 제도 다 가로 이지생한테도 파주 주지. 다 용무시 받는 거 왔어. 배는 간도 수대와라서 용도 왔어. 근데 지금다 지금 깨내져도 건 차독이 온 거 왔어.
Yeah, so it's very difficult, to appreciate or rejoice in somebody's, So it's just like a politicians, They know the other persons might be doing good, but because, of jealousy, they always say bad things about other ones.
Right. 인자네 이제 개와셔봐 도베 대랑 저도 먹고 세베 니네가 왜 지세는 왜 뒤에 손님도 도버서 봐.
And so it is said that if you, when you see someone doing very good, instead of having jealousy towards them, if you rejoice in their virtue or merit, then you accumulate in the same amount of merit as them.
어떤데 이자 다 듣는 거는 지금 항상으로 그런다. 간이래 그래서 깔려지는 자 먹어와 다지 그 야버서 하면 간이 이런 거다 듣는 거는 가로 레스 삼님 맞지 봐. 그래도
So it is really difficult to explain, how it is possible for someone to create merit equal to the other one, just by rejoicing, just by thinking, oh, that's very good.
Right.
It's very difficult, So, and it's not really possible, maybe, to prove logically.
Right. It's difficult. That is number sanjevi chuche the same to you the that's what you think do.
And so that's one of the hidden, very extremely hidden, karma, and also that shows that it mainly depends on your mind, how your mind thinks. So just by rejoicing, just by thinking like that, you can accumulate great amount of merit.
아니 산제 샤슈근데 샤슈베나 갈아야네 자보지가 산제다 고당 저번에 맞다 소수피어서 와 아니 다지 지나서는 당에 데리도 빼면서 배 뭐는 산제 된데 슈 야보슈치 다 데려 산제 말 빼면서 투녀고 저래 섬코나들이 지어서 와 아니 럼베 보들라야 아니 방고지다 그것부터 근데 그들이 빼야고 저도 그 강조가 개와 지세가 지네 어 가르나 주마 산제 개와 뭐자마라 안들이 방고들 한 거랬어 딱 콜까지 말나 그들라 가르노 다 가서 맞아 저거는 맞죠 아니 지대지 건도샤반다 그런 거 와게서 근데 고무기 방고들 더 그랬어 어떻게 뭐 그랬어
뭐 그랬어요 그래서
그럼
그걸 뭐 그랬어요 거기 사람들 뭐 그랬어요
딱 그러고 간지 손님 쳐도
전부에는 거기 사람들 뭐 왔어
그 손님 쳐도 간지 가래 개와 쳐도 간지 코도 그랬어 아니 때 산지 좀 가래 가지는 그래서 아니 그거 지대가 저 그랬어 아니 셴바딩 지대 주시셔 와다 다 되래서 송하러
So I think it's during Buddha's time, Buddha Shakyamuni's time. I think it's King Bimbisara who was offering, a food to the Buddha and his sanghas, and then he was offering, a lot of food for all the sanghas. That it kind of became like very impressive, for other people. And so, of course, he himself, he says, "I'm doing this great thing," and I'm sure I'm creating so much merit. And so he was kind of a little bit arrogant, proud of what he was doing, and he was thinking that he has created so much merit, but at the same time he was having arrogance or pride. But on the other side, there was this beggar who was very, very devoted to Buddha, and seeing that king making such a big offering to Buddha and his sanghas, he rejoiced. The beggar rejoiced in the king's good work, and so he accumulated the same merit as the king, but because king has the pride, arrogance, mixed with the eight worldly concern, and therefore his merit was not as big as the beggars. Beggars was like pure merit. It was same amount, but that king's eight worldly concern made it become like a less. And so anyway. It says that when Buddha dedicated the merit, then he dedicated it to the beggar, because beggar had a bigger merit than the king.
Did the king express the sense of pride, or was it all inside, and he looked like he wasn't prideful?
그거.
저거 그런 게 딱 그런 지금 아절려고 돼 그런 게 땜바래기 즉 삼로 좀 걸 때 그랬어.
삼로 죽고 되로.
It's in his mind.
그래서 나도 주제는 직대 주제에서 송도 대야고 말 송거에서.
So we talk about the 8 worldly concerns, so that is not good.
근데 그 삼설라 간 다된 가서 대 사진 생겨로 봐. 삼설라 년대 전에다 미망송알 야본 통거래. 사진알 가고 치그래. 아니 딱그 점수로 데려와.
So doing for happiness, doing for gain, doing for fame, a good name, praise, and so forth. That's 8 worldly concerns. So thought the king, of course we can't read, but the Buddha can read the king's mind. So he had this thought thinking, oh, if I do that, people will all look up on me. Look up at me. People, the public will think that I'm a great king, and so forth. So he had that expectation to have a fame and praise, so forth. So that's why that was kind of polluted, by 8 worldly concerns.
근데 가리나다 낼레까지 지난 미가를 떼와 돌았단 그래 삼수 제대로. 되게 삼수 대삼도 야고 말. 간나 되게 삼수 될 때는 야 소주 동안냥 그래서 지라 그러고. 간나 소주 대삼면 미 바로 돌아마다 소주 양 샘주 차야 되는 것도 was.
And so because like anything you do, like even when you're doing a practice, when you're doing some prostrations, doing practice and so forth, whenever you do something, if you have that expectation of others, thinking good of you, then that's not good, because that will bring suffering if they don't, think of you as good as you have expected, And then later, if they don't think, oh, I did all this, and they don't look at good at me, they don't think good about me, and so forth. Then you become sad, and then angry, maybe all this, So then that's why it's not good to think like that.
Okay, therefore he just slept there, the beggar just the place he just looking, oh, he enjoy, he got more merit because his mind's complete pure.
Pure.
Okay? Then that 단들은 저도 세도 뱀매진 비겠다 가로 수수기를 현대 지와라 받으시 심벌인데 조건도 삽삽시오리 수수한테 임바이나 다 제미 삼고 들어와.
And so jealousy, is one of the biggest obstacles in generating or gaining any knowledges. So when you have that, then that will prevent you from learning and gaining any knowledges. So if we think of ourselves having that kind of mind, then we should try hard to not have that kind of mind.
아니 강사들이랑 차도였나? 배나 강사 뒤질라 강사 대란 차도였나? 차도인 강사도 강사 봐줘라 기바진 지금 말했어. 기바 맞나 아니 봐줘와서는 이때 소속을 배치오라고 말하고.
So if you have that pride, if you have that pride, then you will not respect the other person, right? If you think, oh, I'm better than him, then you will not respect him. And if you don't respect him, then you will not receive any knowledge from him.
가르선나 수수 기점에서 tukimesaka midisani yende soso jang maro majana soso yeden goemewa.
So somebody who you don't respect, you will not learn from that person, right? So there's no way you can gain any knowledge from that person.
Oh, tendeza ane magi bade ta yende michi yende karo jeaga go kek chimbore es kademe gewish to sonstrwa.
And so not respecting, is is closing the door, to any knowledges.
Okay, that's 다 자녀다. 다 셔도 통비 난리 잡도 지걸. 산로 체비 끊라 가도데 본시 또빈 걸란 치데 나도 시민이나 말아야. 봐. 오다 단디 강 용데 아도 조지 다도 말이 봐. 랑치 반데 비치데 티원가 레사 대하고도.
So in like every verse, also in this verse 81, all this happen, all these thoughts, the negative thoughts that we have, is because of the self-grasping ignorance. So we should try to destroy that self-grasping ignorance. And then the verse 82 says, "Because my friendships are of short duration, I cast aside former acquaintances. Because my new friends are many, I lay before them empty promises of enjoyment, roar and thunder on the head of the destroyer, false construction, mortally strike at the heart of the butcher, the enemy ego."
오다 메시지 가서 조보세도 가서 조보세. 아니지. 메디 가서 benjo ya yo to namba ya su to lamre de ki jamra trobo the same thing trobo ko kedi na trobo ta go yo resro.
So the friend, has to be, somebody that you consider as a friend from your heart, from your mind, not because of that person's wealth or appearance and so forth.
Jitena ane mandala jidao mundu sa mandala mundu yabu mundu sa karna raje ngambe shida tunga ko karan jita tundu shara re karna ranga ngai ane so tobo kangen ro intraba yena 디세 두절 파펜다 예샤네 아니 콘솔라 무잡드네 다 조보 유샤와 간제 카마다와 바제 제로 와드리 같이 제가나 바조와 데스 고 강엔 저완자 다들 로바체고 말해서 근데 그 잡드 유샤가
So we when we have a friend, and that's for very short duration, we when we find that our friends are in difficult situations, we are not always there to help them, and worse is that when we show our back and then walk away when they are in bad situations.
간제 조보세데 직강인 트베칼라 조보데 조보야쇼 차상 야보요칼라 조보데 고 조보 템보시란 말이서 간제 다 태우 말아 간제 강인 트베칼라 조보 조보야쇼래 해서.
So it says that the friend is a real friend is a friend who stays with you in a difficult times, right? So somebody who just comes to enjoy with you is not a good friend. Yeah? Somebody who sticks with you even when you're going through hard times and is there to help you all the time. That's a good friend.
근데자 소소고 조보직 수중에 강 톱톱직 제도하면은 간도 마음보이 가도 제도고 말 저도 샤고 뭐여서 강 톱톱직.
So we should try our best to do whatever we can to help our friends. Of course, we can't do everything. There are many things that we are not able to do, and those, of course, we can't do at all. So there's nothing we can do about that. But whatever we can do, we should always help we should do to help others or our friends.
안에 가죠 사조 체베 끌라 안에 가죠도 가지다 다 사조 체베 가죠 백kel
살바서 도살바
도사바다 모사바다 지시 사와라 직가디는 장장다네 니바도 이거 다 산이 라들라 지오맹이 장도로 봐서 근데 뭐마시다 신동도 근데 동서로 간지 사와이나 때라 록체가나 진짜 동거나 사바 가래나 제대로네 근데 계좌메시게시게거든 용도 와서.
And it says that I cast aside former acquaintance. So we get rid of our friend our former old friends, and then we make new friends. Many new friends, and then we make all these promises to help them and do this and that for them.
Okay, then is that 시제도 테스 아서 당해로 저도 레긴 도와서 가리지 바나 간지 아서시라 제어 말에 들어.
So not only, most of us, we're all very fickle-minded, right? We show a really interest, very strong interest at the beginning, and then after some time, then we lose that interest very quickly.
어, 되게 재미야.
And so that it should not be like that.
아니 지금 소소 로조지나 로조 템보. 아니 치우 제제데 제데 아니 제모시라 그래서.
So that goes with the studies and the practice as well. So when you are studying, first you show so much strength and so much interest, and then eventually or very quickly you lose the interest and they don't study at all. No, should not do like that. Same with the practice. So when you do studies and practice, there's something that you have to keep on doing throughout your life. So it has to be like a stream of a river.
아니 배자 지로조지나 냅직 로조 야보지지. 맞아. 근데 페겔라 투지 내라 투지 이걸 맞아 다 주로 시당 시제도 됐어요. 그래서 봐야 벌써 로조야 보내 개미. 아.
재단
가가로 맞아. 가서 배워라나 얘들 직접 미지인데 정말 나서서 찍으면 잘하는데 와서. 나 지나도야 재단 가가를 관계 로를 삼도근도 와.
So we usually especially like the Tibetans, we usually say you should study one, start with one study, finish that, and then you move to the other one. But Westerners, they study a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there. Maybe that's the Western way, and that works for the Westerners. Maybe that's better. So anyway, whichever way, so you do, make sure to get all the information, all the knowledges.
don't stop, don't push like it was.
Oh.
Don't stop, don't push.
Don't stop, don't push.
Right? But don't push too much yourself. Don't stop. Now chu jeje de chidwa. Tsujiwa, tsundi chu jeje cheshi ase. Kotang tembedo mek seisho tangi. Kado. Chutsuda kumda. The siladre, tsundi chu jeje chewas. Kade chichimbo jenashi. Chemengish.
So yeah, the effort has to be there, like the continuation of the river, so the river continues right, all the time, so it should be like that, not like showing at the, so much effort at the beginning and then you lose the effort very quickly, not like that.
Right. Then change, or maybe add to that, change. Then finally, you don't have anything to show, Therefore, we have some students, always like here. I'm just chucky. I'm not just looking for say all the time class that always same person, we call it stable, then like that. And some people very easy to change. How much you easy change, you don't get any knowledge. Because you eat a little bit here. Therefore, it's not Buddhism, study Buddhism, not like you food different, maybe 10 dishes food. 10 different kind dish you can eat a little bit, you can, we call food, feel. But study Buddhism not like that. You study like that, then come boss, you can learn, but not like that. You have to, we call step by step, non-stop. We call not, rabbit and what? Rabbit and Toro. No. Toro? Red? Or the same? Yeah. We need to like Toro, okay, not rabbit. Just slowly, just non-stop, always same person. Even your mind need to always same person. Sometimes you very exciting. Sometimes just like someone, not like that, Of course, we have sometimes up done good situation, bad situation, not same anyone, but try to check like all the time like same person, check more calm, then you more comfortable, like that. Then, what your question? Yes.
You say, don't push, don't stop. How does this relate in relationships where someone wants more of your attention than you feel comfortable giving? And you want to be able to help a person, but they're asking so many things of you that you're just not comfortable, you're not ready to give them. I find it very difficult to set that boundary and say I'm not comfortable doing that, or I'm not ready to be that kind of a friend that I think that they want me to be, to do the things that they would like me to do. I'm not sure how to talk to them.
Tatanda 저런게 don't push, don't stop 라처럼. 다들라 때 맞아 미님부 다 대화체서 들라가다 가르쳐 배쳤다 가르쳤다 잘 걸어서 봐. 미카셔 되는 것도 로봇라는 배 시우지 상모 로봇이 되고도 얘는 수 시우지 랑도 왔어. 코로나도 되는 가서 코로나도 랑와나서 가서 불어 제통문도 왔어. 내가 저 진이도 문도 내가 책임을 랍통문도 가르쳐 걸었어.
다들 가나 가 탑도 제메도 왔다 나도 대체 통문도 콜람나고 담으라자로 왔어. 그때 내가 어떻게 말을 그러면 가 제톱도 제메도 왔다 내가 제 통문도 콜라는 되겠어.
So you do as much as you can, and what you cannot do, you just tell them you cannot do that, And that's being honest. And so just tell them that, yeah.
대파지 야만 소수 제어 맡아봤지. 제 도움에 올라 맡아 가서 소수 버지 그럼 섬대로 샤워로 왔어.
So if you cannot do and you cannot tell them that you cannot do, then you'll struggle yourself. So that's not good.
그래봐. 근데다 강 톱톱대. 제 아니 제모도는 영어 대샤. 내가 너들 달라야지 바로. 로바제나 까지 빠지 되지네. 니마지 소요 깔레게 세비잖아 그러봐. 대마 까디나 강 톱톱대. 제
So you do as much as you can, within your power, as much as you can. But if you cannot, then don't push yourself too hard, to do when you cannot do it.
그러봐. and magic bena lekamaro bena nga ta damgaro nga chila yo na 되는 거 bena ni some 가치도 제 근데 전부도 내 제도문도 고샤나요 저거로.
So for example, if your friend has asked you to do 5 things, and out of which you can only do 3, then you say you do 3. And then the rest you say, oh, I'm sorry, I don't know how to do, I cannot do, don't have time to do, and so forth. Whatever you, be honest and just tell them that.
Okay? Today 소로 좀 간다고 제나나 빼나. 내 돈 버치 좀 해면 데린다고 님 앞에 최세 응알치 선이 응알치 너니 응알치. 이제니 님은 니가 녀되나? 아니 아콜 하루로 와서 데려가 최세 제가 선이 최다 너니 제가 국가를 가르쳐 제야로 와서.
So same with the practice, like, you say, oh, it's good, so good to do practice, and then you do like 5 hours of practice today, and then 5 hours of practice tomorrow, and then day after tomorrow you just stay sleeping. Then it's not good, So it would be better if you just do whatever you can, and like you say you can do half hour today, and keep on doing tomorrow every day, like half hour, and that's better.
니마를 쓰기에서 강시 ninja 소만은 쓰자말이 콘도체 되는 걸 납자다는 여러
So they're saying that you should learn 1 day a word, and then when you have spent 100 days, you will have learned 100 words already.
도저는 딱 갈래 전에 문턴에 가지 둘이 추는 장 그게 계속 송되게 그랬어.
And so if you do that, then you continuously learn every day.
Therefore, you guys here, I'm not talking about you are not like that. You guys very great students, great attendance with it, right? You're very good, but good has not end.
There's no end to good.
Therefore, because we have too many bad things. Enter in, what's that? Enter achievement, not enough. Therefore, but therefore you guys very good, but keep just that. Not need to be changing things. Just study, how much you can. And try to always, a little bit humble mind, with the verse 80 is very strong verse for special us. Try to, if you like this, read again. Did I am that kind of person? Or if yes, well, I have to be a little bit flexible person. Okay? Don't think, oh, maybe he's there. Maybe Ian's like that person. Or maybe Wayne is like that person. Not like that. Always you say, oh, maybe he talk about him. Not like that. Talk about a little bit. You say, oh, did I that person? If you like, then this checks. The Dharmarakshita say, this is not good. Therefore, we have to a little bit change. There's some words that are very, very and
so some of the verses are very practical with our day-to-day life.
Right?
So easy to, and it goes along with our thoughts and our way of living.
Otherwise, sometimes we study a lot, we don't know how can we practice. What can I the susu metseda
So other words, we don't know how we can integrate these practices with our life.
Like this verses are very, very related for our life, related for our activity things. Okay? I think today we went to 2 verses. Okay. Do we have other questions? Yes.
So I have a question about the quickly, slowly, because then you read verses where they say, you've achieved this precious human rebirth, now study every moment, hear, think, and meditate, every moment you can, and that's, those are, you hear that when you study. It's like you have this precious human rebirth. Do your studies, nothing else is important. So sometimes that is contradictory. Yeah.
Because we are not that person. Also, we are very dangerous to lose the interest. The reason is we don't want to lose the interest, therefore do slowly. Of course, you're good, you can do 24 hours, it's perfect, but we couldn't, we are not that level. Therefore, the one story, Milarepa, Milarepa is a great master. He don't want to eat anything. He don't want to go. He just meditation, he chivalantam, and then someone read the story. Then he said, "Oh, I want to like exactly." Then he give up all family things. He go there, maybe 1 month. He doesn't nothing to do. Then he come out. He said, "What happened? This Milarepa for me. He makes me beggar. Like this has happened. This is dangerous for us. Therefore, slowly." We say, perfect human rebirth, this is the only chance means, don't stop. Think about always. If you remember that, then you can do always a little bit. Okay? Then nothing contradiction. You really think. Because, Sanchi Chondo Sora, and the Mass Sword, Kansago Sambadan Tamba, Chegomado, Kansago Sambadan, Chimbubadan, Mantamachina Yomares.
So yeah, you do the practice, and of course you have to do as much as you can. If you can keep on doing it like that, then that's very good. But you have to do it, to your limit. So if you go beyond that, then you might collapse and you will not be able to do anything at all. So then you won't get anything. So you do according to your limit and according to your an ability. So whatever you can do, yeah.
Okay. Then Bob?
Yeah, a question about motivation or dedication and bodhicitta. I find that if I think, may I reach a state of full enlightenment, or may I end my own suffering and I become enlightened, and then if I can help others and think about that, I can generate sort of some enthusiasm, but that's putting me first, right? It's like I have to take care of my suffering first. And then if I can free everybody else from suffering, wow, that's a big bonus, right? And it can have some enthusiasm. But if I think the other way around and think, well, let me free other people from suffering, and without thinking about myself, then it's hard to generate much enthusiasm. Well, yeah, there must be many other.
Good.
I'm wondering if the thought of thinking of myself first and then thinking of, being able to free others, is that like a stepping stone along the way? Because if I don't think of myself first at this point, it's hard to generate energy. Or
You think of the 3 models of the king or the shepherd or the captain.
yeah, I'm thinking of the king.
But,
I might be missing the point a little bit, though.
But it's sort of like if you want to be a doctor to help other people to cure their illnesses, you're going to do a lot of work, but your goal is to help other people. Yeah, and yes, you're going to become a doctor along the way, but that's what you're, right?
Yeah, but here my goal is like to help myself and to help others, but it's not, at this point, it's not more to help others than myself, right? But if you really have bodhicitta, you're really just thinking about others. You're not thinking about yourself, right?
Once you reach.
So, once you have bodhicitta, right?
Right, exactly.
So is this the right stepping stone to be thinking about, like the king point of view, thinking about myself first and thinking about other people at the same time? Is that
그
더 됐어. 다 코로나나 나나 뭐 기부 못했어. 나나 기부는 내가 먼저 기부다 기부 먼저 내가 기부 나가 담을 대화 터도 나가 담을 대화 나가 대화 터봐이나 내가 먼저 대화를 거 그랬어. 거기 인슬란 내가 삼박해 봐이나 하나데 때네 가서 장주 심사를 했어.
대 말해 대로 말해
대면 차로.
대 때문에 잘 나 말씀하지 당보 소수 동화상다 당도 빼나 당도 동화 샘데 깨더니 말 랑가탄다 가로 내려서 뭐는데 많이 얘기했던 거 알지 왔어 소수 동화상다 소수 gen세데 체네 콘솔라 동화 요래 되네다 딱 콘솔라 펜도 제때 딱 마사자들 엘레부군 누구 삼나 삼도 가가 자서 왔어.
So of course, you have that thought at the beginning for yourself. Now, I want to be happy, and then you apply that reason to others. Just like myself, others want to be happy too. And in order to bring others happiness, and I'm going to achieve enlightenment. So when you think like that, then you're not really thinking about yourself. Of course, first you have to think about yourself. There's a saying in the Guide to the Buddhist Way of Life. That if you don't think about yourself, even in the dream, there's no way you're going to think about others. And so, in order to think about somebody who doesn't think about oneself, cannot think about others. And therefore, of course, first it starts with oneself, and then that you apply to the others. That reason why you want to be happy yourself, and the same reason you apply to the others. That's why others should be happy also. And then why you think you should think about others rather than oneself is because others are important, others are more, others are kind, and all these things, the reason. And because of that, then you think, about others.
맨날 랑아 소소라 동어요 바진데 체네 학원에 어떤 전에다가 놓지 요랬더라 소소나 지레 봐 선고로다 찔랍사서.
So because of the reason that oneself wants to be happy, you can think. And after that, if you think that, let me free myself first, from all the sufferings, and then I will think about helping others, and then you're falling into the hinayana path.
근데다 콘솔라 펜토가 치다 나사르들 레바치기 삼치나 삼카가 자루.
So at that point, then when you think about others are important, others I should help others, and then yes, the only way to help them is to achieve enlightenment. Therefore, I'm going to strive to achieve enlightenment for their benefit. So when you think like that, then it becomes Mahayana.
Okay, it's a little different. Good, yeah. Little this is like discussion, you guys. Good. Then we can more understand. This is a very big method, because the Tibetan great monasteries, they always debate. Even maybe in Tibetan long term there are not much debates, only couple monasteries. Then after his own come India, he asked to all the monasteries, including the nunneries, you have to debate, because you can make more clean. Because we have 4, 5, 6 people with different ideas. You can talk more, then make more clean. It's very good. Therefore, sometimes we can learn discussion, some debate. You want to read debate Anish years, you get debate her. Today she's a little sick. Anyway, this is a very good method. You think more, then give some different ideas. Otherwise, we always, like that, I know. Then it's good. Maybe you really know that, but not very stable. This also I have experience. When I debate one subject more, still I can remember very easily. During that time, I'm lazy. I don't do much, debate. Then just completely forgot. After renewing, like that, they were, yeah, it's very good, different ideas, talk more, makes it more clear. Okay? Yep.
Earlier you said two opposing minds can't manifest at the same time in an ordinary person.
Yeah.
At what point can they?
Got it.
At what point can you manifest two different minds? Like, you said in an ordinary person, so I was wondering at what point are you able to?
Got it.
미주먹이 로라더니 로미트분이 껴야 말았어. 로미트분이 되는 도치도 껴야 말았어. 로미트분이 도치도 가득히 그랬어.
But I'm not you take Martha, Jay, you must have. Jay, you must cut it, Jay, you must cut it.
It can be generated.
Okay, so in any mind at all.
Any mind at all. So when you become Buddha, you will not have that wrong mind at all. So you can't have it, right? You can't have the two opposing minds at the same time, because Buddha doesn't have it. So Buddha can have two positive minds at the same time.
Different mind,
Two positive minds at the same time. Two positive minds at the same time. But two opposing minds cannot have that.
That makes sense, but when you said ordinary, like,
Oh, yeah.
I thought at some point you'd be able to, just because that was.
Yeah, that's true. If you say inner, oh, that's very good, you catch. You read Tibet, then you don't need to say ordinary people, if not possible. But I don't know how they use the Tibetan text. They say, Mando Senchen, Tamavajala, and Ijinaba Shiba Zeta de Ni Chetchayo Maris.
Yeah, so we cannot have two types of mind, two different types of mind at the same time, in the ordinary people.
Penangazo Yosama, Penangazo Tada Chanso. Nanzo Drayabo Nyan was. Dry the Yao, so you can get the mixing to the meeting. Nazo Yabojical, Malamanga Chano was.
So when you're listening and you're looking, you have two minds at the same time, right?
I think Geshe said one mind's kind of in the background, but it's not your main, it's not the primary mind.
Yeah. So can you hear? Can you look at watch the movie and then listen to the sound at the same time?
And think about something totally different.
I just think you can perceive it, but your attention's not really on it. It's kind of in the back of your mind versus your main focus. Like when I drive, I'm on autopilot. Always the roads, I'm always thinking something else, but like I can multitask.
So anyway, something is all when one is clear, the other one is vague.
Yeah.
So both cannot be clear at the same time.
Lo matter when you take it to us.
Huh?
I have a love-hate relationship. We often say that about somebody or something. You know what I mean? I have a real love-hate relationship.
Love-hate, okay. I thought you said love-hate relationship.
And we all know what that means, but to explain it is difficult.
Yeah.
Teneda Paja lo matter when you go to Chitara, go down and Chemachimas. In a ton, Mipa Chilamin, Sungi think of Lunita Chetio Marsi.
Yeah, maybe you can have two different kind of mind at the same time, but not manifest at the same time. So that's a little different. But anyway, it's definite, that there cannot be two opposing minds at the same time.
But then team and the Lepi chanting, Melepi chanting lot to take Marchechu Marwas.
So some people might think this flower is beautiful, some people might think this flower is ugly, right? So the two minds, thinking one is ugly, one is beautiful, cannot be at the same time in one person's mind. So somebody who sees this beautiful will not think this is ugly too.
Okay, therefore, very good catch at the butt. It's good. Then the Paja lo matter when you chair yourself. Chatting in the Majakaji, don't chair yourself was. That the Tungi the Gamilo said that James and that Pachang door.
So maybe two type of mind you might have. It might be possible to arise at the same time, but not maybe full focus at the same time for ordinary people. But the two opposing mind is definitely not for anybody.
And the Nalamanga Lose, Nalamanga said, but the year when I make Zoom Zebaral, Laba charge me the Dradinish was. Dako the Kajan in the Kala Yunjulagandos.
And then there's this type of consciousness called inattentive consciousness. So, like for example, when you are so focused on some object, a visual object, at that time, and when you hear something, you do hear, but it's not very clear.
Okay. Yeah. Who's fast? Yeah.
Mine's really quick. I just wanted to say that this is just like a Western gloss on this idea, but Freud, really believed that humans, had a very strong propensity for ambivalence. So ambivalence.
What is that?
It means having two minds, or being of two minds that were, the love-hate, or it's like feeling like you're conflicted about two things. Like you can't choose about the same thing. That's right. Yeah. You are of two minds about one object. Like it. There's this expression, on the other hand, and so it's a very Western thing.
But can it be at the same time though, right? Can it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The love hate can be at the same time?
No,
But
that's
once
right,
we're
at the
done-
same time, you're flipping back and forth.
Yeah.
You're not holding both of them.
Exactly, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
this is
That's what I
like,
mean.
yeah.
You're flipping
And
back
this
and
time I
forth.
look good, but
Yeah.
another time
Yeah.
I didn't see it good, like that. So that's different time,
Yeah.
So at the same time, when you see it beautiful, can you see the ugly also? No, that's not. So there's something when you love it at that time, at the same time, you cannot hate it at the same time, right? So the love hate
대구도
can
나무
be-
제 가면도
네.
나도 배는 게 말하기 없나. 두부종으로 담부.
네.
야부 싶은데로. 정말 가진
So love hate can be, in the boyfriend girlfriend. So when they first meet, they all love each other, and then when they get into trouble, then they hate each other. So then it's love hate.
Yeah.
Hour by hour sometimes.
Hour by hour.
Yeah, this is the truth.
Yeah.
This is, I think we are same. I think Western mind. I think we all same, yeah. Good. Okay. Okay.
The Geshe tells a story in the beginning about the Lama that wanted to stay in the lower realms so that he could help Amitabha Pure Land.
Yeah.
Is Amitabha Pure Land out of cyclic existence, and can you study there? Because you don't want to go to the upper realms is the God realms because you don't study. Is the Pure Land above that, so you can study to become one?
대가지다 사제다. 가지 사제로 그래서.
말. 더정신을 깨야라.
아노.
미주마 더정신을 깨는데 델라데는 또 쳐져야 열었어.
대라죠.
열었어.
루루체 열니.
네, 하이르게 보면 대올라 차지 되는 로전차다 쳐져야 선물 후 받았어. 대나시는 대면하지 말았어. 그렇다. 더정신디. 여보면 더정신디.
대 진짜 가가 말 듣지마 말에 가가랬어. 주제에 주니에서 이나야 간나다 가서 로어도 그거 맞는데 내 나시 다 semjera 니제제들 강의제들 매지로서.
Yes, you can study, you can practice there. You can receive teaching from Buddha Amitabha, meet with Buddha Amitabha and receive teaching from him, but it will not be effective in a sense like here you see the problems of this, the compassion is more stronger. So there you don't see the suffering, so you have less of a compassion. So when you have compassion, you have to have compassion towards somebody who is suffering, who is going through difficulties. So when you don't see anybody there, then it's difficult to have that.
So it's hard to reach enlightenment if you're in the Pure Land. So it's
Hello?
almost based on human, because here you can generate bodhicitta.
Mm-hmm.
So okay. So yeah. So it's.
가서
Yes,
미디 야수 가서 미디 야수랬어.
the human is best
야.
for practicing Dharma.
미디 거는 야수스. 아니 미나 단당 가서 미디 야수. 아니 다와진 저와치서 미리 다 다치고 송거로 왔어.
Yeah, especially the Prophet Human Rebirth with 8 lectures and 10 endowments is very, very precious.
그래서 딱 가서 야가도 그랬더니 다 내가 갈때 자고는 갈래 숙청부잖아요. 육사요 말로.
And so it's good, but then you have to keep on doing our practices. It shouldn't be like doing so much at one point and then giving up completely at the other point.
Okay?
Why is the Pure Land good then? I don't want to go to the Pure Land. It's a horrible place to be. It's just as bad as the Hell Realms. I mean, there may not be suffering in the Hell Realms. I mean, there may not be suffering in the Pure Land, but you don't get to help anyone. You don't get to achieve enlightenment. So what's the point of Pure Land,
치불라드면 열서 봐. 대대 산지는 다 치가로 산지사야 다 녀들 봐. 아니 다시 제사나?
Yes, you can achieve enlightenment there.
봐. 산지 고사를 해야 된다. 간지 산지 고사 받는 오모트 보고 계시.
So usually, normally, when you say you do the practice stronger here, but when you achieve enlightenment, you go up there. So you'll be born, when you're closer to Buddhahood, you'll be born there anyway. So then you're already there. Then from there you achieve enlightenment.
That is,
Yeah.
you cannot help others here when you are there.
얘기요나 저라 그때 더 당신이야나 근데 심지어 신달 로봇 채통 말았어 델라 채워나시 채통 말았어
다 되네야 트바 되네야 트바 되네 야 심지가 도바데 무바지데 추되네 양 로토 요서
it depends it depends on when you are when you are there you can do the practice happily without any difficulties you can do the practice easily and then when you reach to that level to a high level where you can have some kind of powers, and you can emanate yourself, as a beings, and then come down to this world or go to our different world and help sentient beings that way.
Okay? Okay, tujiche. Anybody know tujiche? What it means? No. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, tujiche, thank you. I think we have to do every day maybe learn one Tibetan. Everybody says tujiche, okay? Next time don't forget, okay? Tujiche means what? Thank you. Okay, tujiche. Then also you need to know when you use tujiche, okay? If someone hit you, tujiche. Okay, thank you anyway. Tujiche.
Page 39. Sashi Boki Ryukshing Mejo Dhamri Hirabling Shi Party Sangeji with the points of the path if I has discerned them. May I uphold Buddhist teachings for a very long time. And with great compassion, in whatever direction the most precious teachings he has spread or once spread have declined, may I reveal this treasure of happiness today. May the minds of those who wish for liberation be granted bounteous peace, and the Buddhist deeds be nourished for a long time. By even this great path to enlightenment completed, due to the wondrous virtuous conduct of the Buddhists and their children, may all human and non-human beings who eliminate adversity and make things conducive for practicing the excellent path never be parted in any of their lives from the purest path praised by the Buddhists. An effort to act in accordance with the tenfold Mahayana practice. May they always be assisted by the mighty ones, and may oceans of prosperity spread everywhere. In that snow mountain encircled land, source of every benefit and joy, may Lord Tanzyan Gyatso Chenrezig remain in life till samsara's end. Page 49. You who uphold the subduer's moral way, who serve as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving, and treading Manu's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplishes magnificent prayers honoring the three jewels, Savior of myself and others, your disciples, please, please live long. On page 57. Through this virtue, having gained Guru Buddha state, place each and every sentient being without exception in that state. Precious Supreme Bodhi mind, may it where unborn arise, and where born never decline, but increase forevermore. Big thanks and
Thank you very much. Did you check, Ashla? Thanks for everyone. Wonderful, wonderful night tonight. Just a quick few updates. We've got 35 Confession Buddhas practice scheduled for this coming Sunday. I know I haven't scheduled it for a while, and I'll basically put it in our calendar for once a month. It's a wonderful group practice, and we'll just say the first Sunday of every month. Then just, I don't know, last sign up, Reiki. We've got Reiki this weekend. Anyone that still want to sign up, that's fine. Let me know or email Pat. It's in the newsletter. Then coming up on February 19th, the Thursday, we've got Losar. Keep an eye on the calendar. Basically what's there is early in the morning, excuse me, the Tibetans will have a Guru Puja and a celebration. I think it starts around 8:30, right, Yeshua? Yeah, something like that. And then in the evening at 7 o'clock, we'll have a Tara Puja to basically put, Taras for I forget the word. In any case, strength and good. Sean, look at Sean. Eliminating obstacles. There you go for 2015 or for the Tibetan year coming, and we'll also do that with a dog offering. I think that's it. I don't have anything else. Sean, anything? Okay. Thank Thanks everyone. Tuchiche.